Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for joining. I'm just making some updates here. Thanks for partnering with your main man, BTM. What up, Yazim? What's going on with you, fam? Thanks for joining. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, ZBCN didn't wake up today and choose peace. We chose violence, brother. Zebec is out here building like the group project member who disappeared all semester and showed up with the entire presentation finished. Tonight, we're breaking down why ZBCN just shocked the market, what Zebec Network's rolling out now, and whether a major announcement is actually around the corner. So now, let me keep it real from the start. I do not have a confirmed secret bombshell press release in my pocket. What I do have is something better, a stack of fresh official ZBCN updates that make the next move worth watching closely. So thanks for joining, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and add as many people as you can to this update. Let me start the screen share and see what we can see. So this is the screen share, and this is a short. I got a couple shorts to play real quick, and then we'll get back into it. So let's see what's going on with the nation.
Good morning, Pirates. My name is a Thriving Lantern. I hope you're having a great Monday morning. Welcome back to the Zebec Gazette, brought to you by the Zebec Nation podcast. As you can see, we have breaking news for Monday morning. Let's get right into it. Boom, boom, boom. 1 year after our first space with Martin Heisbach, we're back next Thursday with Uphold. Tune in as we walk through recent developments at Zebec and what's ahead at XRP Las Vegas. Boom, drop the mic. Make sure everyone attends this space, please. We have Ben White, Martin Heisbach, and Simon, a.k.a. Jimmy Neutron. You know it. Drop the mic. Have a good day. Peace. Turn it up.
So that was a super quick update. That happened so quick. I wasn't even expecting the update to complete that fast. Actually, kind of threw me for a loop there because I was trying to check the live stream, but apparently, that kind of happened too fast. Just checking something on the live stream. We are live. Next one is. This is Grow Rich and Grow Happy. Zebec credit unions and a massive ship most missed.
Imagine that Zebec Network powering real-time payroll, streaming payments, and programmable finance on top of those rails. Remember, Zebec is not trying to change anything with these legacy systems. They're just embedding their technology over top, just like Quant's Overledger. They're embedding it over top. All right. And then imagine your friends, family members who don't trust crypto, don't know much about it. They're going and they're using their trusted credit unions. They're using their trusted credit unions, and they don't even know that they're utilizing crypto. They don't know that the reason that they're getting paid in real time is because of cryptocurrency, is because of Zebec Network. But you know what all that does? It all feeds back into the ZBCN holders, and it makes our value go up. Now,
And bro, folks got the super short shorts, bro. Y'all ain't playing no games today. This is the Emmanuel Web 3. I think I'm saying that right. Zebec Network. When the charts do this, pay attention.
Getting to around the zone of 0.002837, we should be expecting over $42,000, which is going to be liquidated from short position. If the price should drop below to around this liquidation price point area of 0.002293, we should be expecting over $18,000. That's going to be wrecked from long position from ZBCN. We're looking at the chart of ZBCN. It is currently trading around the zone of 0.00255540 as of the time of recording this video. And with the look of things, we are even expecting a further drop of price for ZBCN to the downside anytime soon. RSI indicator, however, shows we currently at around the zone of 46, which simply indicates that we are still in a neutral zone, but slightly moving towards the bearish momentum for the price of the asset. Sellers have slight more control than buyers in the market right now as we speak. Now, that takes us to the MACD indicator real quick. Here you get to see that the MACD line is currently crossed below the signal line. However, pointed towards the downside, and which has formed this bearish histogram volume, which was right here. And this simply indicates that we should be expecting a further drop of price for ZBCN to the downside. ZBCN, with the look of things, is likely to get a pullback all the way into this map out liquidation price point area, or likely to take out the zone of 0.0022 for ZBCN. And the moment we are taking out that zone, we should be expecting a bounce reversal to the upside all the way to around this previous resistance area of 0.0024 for ZBCN, get a slight pullback to consolidate for a while, then a massive explosion all the way to around this previous resistance area of 0.0028 for ZBCN coin, which is very, very possible for this project, guys. So we should pay close attention to those areas, guys. So ZBCN is expected to get a pullback towards this zone of 0.0022, which is a must for the project, guys. And by the time we are dropping to around that zone, we should bag more ZBCN because we are expecting a more short from that zone to the upside for ZBCN coin. So what you think about ZBCN, please kindly drop it in the comment section below, as I don't intend making this video lengthy. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.
So thanks for that update as well. Let's look at the bubbles. You can clearly see here on the bubbles, Dash is running away with the market here. Currently, Dash is up 24.2%. What is going on? Tau is down 22%. So I don't know if people dropped Tau and went to Dash. It's kind of weird. This Dexy, which I just started looking at, is up 11.8 on the day, 16.1 on the week, 123 on the month, and down 39.5 on the year. And that brings this to $9.32. If you know about this project, let me know in the comments. World Mobile Token is up 4.4 on the day. XRP is up 0.6 to $1.35. Bitcoin SV is up 1.6. Qual Network is down 8.5. I'm glad I didn't pick that Qual up yet. World Liberty Financial is crashing out, down 10.1 on the day, 1% on the hour, 17.5 on the week, 20.1 on the month to 8 cents. What is this? What up, Peter? Disagreement with co-founders and some subnets. Really? What's good, fam? What up, Peter? Templar dropped and others. What do you mean Templar dropped? What do you mean? I was trying to get to mining these mining rigs up. I'm glad that didn't work out either. I guess things are working out for the good, right? I guess I'm getting blessed because I didn't buy the qual yet. I was gonna buy some more tile. I'm about to wait now since it's going down to $258.32, down 22 on the day, 1.5 on the hour, 16.1 on the week. XPR is down 5%. AIXBT is down 3.9. Quants up 4.8. Mudan. Is that Munan? Munan is up 5.3 on the day. I actually just started watching this one as well. Down 1.3 in the hour, down 28.4 on the week. I mean, up 24.8 a week, up 64.5 on the month to 3 cents. Safe is up 10.6. Zebec is up 0.8 on the day, down 1.3 on the hour, up 60.1 on the week, up 75% on the month, and up 9.17 on the year to 372.4. Let's see, $372.42. Solana is up 1.3 on the day, down 0.3 on the hour, up 5.7 on the week, down 2.5 on the month, and down 24.7 on the year. Radian is up 4% on the day. Airdrone Financial is up 5.7 on the day. Nero's up 0.5. CVX is up 0.4. Litecoin's up 0.4. TON token is up 3.3. OKB's up 1.3. Flare's up 0.6. Caspa is up 3.7 on the day, down 0.7 on the hour, up 8.3 on the week, up 9.7 on the month, and still down 52.2% on the year to 3 cents. Jupiter's up 1.8. Hash flows up 2%. Pi's up 0.6. Flux is up 2.9. Nexo's up 0.9. SQD is up 2.4. So let's run the big boys. Bitcoin is up 1.4 on the day to 72,868. For the hour, it's down 0.4. For the week, it is up 8.9. For the month, it's up 3.4. For the year, it is down 8.7%. Ethereum freaking nose. It's no, why my freaking nose itches during the videos, man? It was fine all day. No, all of a sudden it's itching like crazy. Ethereum is up 2.24. Wait, 2,241, up 2.1 on the day, down 0.4 on the hour, up 9.3 on the week, up 8.7 on the month, and up 46.7 on the year. Let's go. XRP is up 0.5 on the day, down 0.2 on the hour, up 1.3 on the week, down 2.4 on the month, and down 31.7 on the year to $1.33. And of course, our favorite payroll processor, the crypto we all know and love, the ZBCN, is down 5 places, down 1.2 on the day, up 2.1 on the hour, which is weird. Down up 6.9 on the week, up 31.8 on the month, and up 190% on the year to 0.02659. We can't just pop that 0.003, man. I'm trying to get to 0.005, but to get to 0.005, we gotta pop the 0.003 and maintain that level. I swear, man, there's forces pulling against us, bro. We should be at least back at the 0.005 by now. I don't understand why it is going down and why it ain't running. I don't understand what's going on here. Why ZBCN didn't push up, right? All these other stuff's pushing up that don't have nothing to do with nothing. ZBCN can't push up over the 3. So back to this, and the price, the founder in Templar and other subnets didn't agree with the Tau decentralization. I thought that's what they wanted, was decentralization. So they sold. I always knew it was safer just to hold Tau. Yeah, but I'm about to grab Somewise down, bro. So hopefully the situation can drag it down a little further so I can pick up some and hold it long term. So keeping it pushing. ZBCN is 0026 up 2.5 on the hour. Wait a minute. Is that what this says? That's weird. 2.5 on the hour, down 1% on the day. 1.4. Up 6.2 on the week. Up 31.5 on the month, down 9.8 for 90 days, and up 194.8 on the year. That's weird. None of these numbers ever match up. Going over to the holders. On the holders, we have 100,420. Interesting number. For 4 hours, we picked up 25, and 12 hours, we picked up 69. On the day, we picked up 130. On 3 days, 273. For the week, we picked up 727. For 2 weeks, 1,291. And for the month, we are up 3,619. Let's go. Shout out to all the people holding Zebec. That's for staking 30%. Sounds like a honey trap. Keeping it moving. So we'll refresh this real quick. Get the market numbers. So overall, for market cap, we are 2.4 trillion, up 1.28. CNC 20 is $149.49, up 1.38%. Fear and greed is at neutral, which is weird because everyone else says fear and greed is at fear or extreme fear. So why does CoinMarketCap say it is neutral? I don't understand what's going on here. Altcoin index is 34 out of 100. So we're definitely pulling back to Bitcoin dominance. And this is neutral, but everyone else saying it's at fear or extreme fear. So I don't know what's up with CoinMarketCap. Do they know something we don't know? Over to this is CoinMarketCap saying 0026, down 0.86% on the day. Market cap is 266.2 million. So at least we're over 250 market cap. So can't complain there. Down 0.86. 24-hour trading value is 7.65 million, up 0.03. Let's see what the latest is. ZBCN could be wrong. However, I feel like we are about to see a lift off after today's daily candle close. There isn't a single bear here who can point to anything wrong with this company other than they think it's a scam. The Federal Reserve has a stringent requirement for acceptance into the FedNow program. Mickey compliant ISO, SOC 2, all of these require third-party certifications, and some of them are accredited parties and others from national authorities. The partnership and ecosystem growth isn't something you can deny, and growing payroll processing is also something that you cannot deny. Once you realize the bear is made of paper, then nothing they can do will bring you fear. People chuckle. The bears vote things, but that doesn't remove IR invalid all the tangent proof of growth and expansion. All you losers downvoting my okay. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Who's downvoting your stuff, brother? But keeping it moving. Quarterly report Q1. Zebec cards, black, silver, and carbon. 65.1 million total card volume. 97 countries. 21,626 cards issued. 500K plus transactions. 40 white label partners. 100 supported tokens. 21 chains and 3 cards offered. Payroll volume is 24.5 million bi-weekly, 49 million monthly, 13,100 employees served, and 243 enterprise. That's interesting. Good information there. And keeping it moving. So keeping it moving. Trying to get the information lined up. So keeping it moving. So let's start. Let me see. Now let's keep it real from the start. I do not have confirmed secret bombshell press release in my pocket. But I do have something better, a stack of fresh official ZBCN Zebec updates that make the next move worth watching closely. Why people are suddenly paying attention. So this is the Zebec. I think we just went through this. Zebec says Q1 2026 was a major quarter. The super app launched in late February and we jumped on it and we're waiting for the mobile app to release. I think that's coming pretty soon. Let's see if we can get information on that on the the Zebec page. Is there any information? Early access. Need to connect a wallet. I wonder if the mobile is ready yet. Doesn't really say. Where were we? Here, I guess. No, we were here. Zebec says it crossed 100,000 ZBCN holders, which we have checked that clearly. We're over 100,000 holders. It also says the final token unlock was completed in March, and we definitely saw that. So that's not a shocker either. Q2 is already in motion, and the mobile app, the AI agent payment infrastructure card expansion, and enterprise onboarding. This is the part of the movie where the side characters takes off the glasses and everybody realizes, wait, Zebec's been cooking the whole time. So when people ask, why is Zebec getting attention again? The answer is simple: products, users, and actual rollout milestones. So for the super app segment, the real headline. So Zebec describes the super app as combining payroll cards, staking, payments, and treasury management. The desktop release is live that we're looking at. I guess this is the desktop. Need to actually add a wallet to that at some point. The Zebec roadmap says mobile launch was planned for mid to late March. Is the roadmap on here? And let's see if we can find. I don't see the roadmap actually. And okay, I don't see that. Zebec says the roadmap was planned for mid to late March, plus eSIM integration and rewards, and enterprise desktop 2.0 with white label employer tools in April. So this is actually April. So we will see. Even if the timing slips, those are still the roadmap items that matters for the audience because they hint at what's the next announcement could be. Crypto loves narratives, but the market especially respects distribution. If Zebec gets this super app from the desktop into the mobile and enterprise hands at scale, that's when the story stops being interesting and starts being dangerous for people ignoring it. Because that's what I'm saying, guys. With the major announcements coming up and with the XRP conference, all this stuff should be in play before the conference. So we only got a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks before all this goes live if they want to do it before the conference. And it makes sense, right? Why would you wait until after the conference to go live with the products, right? You want them working so you could show people during the conference. Everybody says they're building an ecosystem. Zebec says, cool, here's payroll, cards, staking treasury, and probably your lunch money too. I love it. If you like it, I love it. So this is Stellar Integration's biggest legitimate angle. Zebec says Stellar selected it for native streaming payroll. So if Zebec's used in the Stellar ecosystem, that proves that it does work, right? It also proves that these guys can use it. And if these guys use it, it creates more adoption. And these guys were trying to FUD us talking about Stellar didn't even say that. And then Stellar actually said it. So every time somebody tries to fund Zebec, it always comes back and burn them. If you haven't noticed, guys, just stick to the script, man. Zebec is doing what Zebec said it was going to do. Zebec's been standing on business the whole time. Zebec calls it the first native deployment of the streaming infrastructure outside of Solana. So again, it's on another network outside Solana network, which means it works, which means it's growing, and means that they're deploying it. The build is designed around stablecoin payroll, digital wallets, and digital spend cash outs. Zebec highlights Stellar's payment focus and points to Stellar's MoneyGram access for cash pickups in 170 countries and 450,000 locations. So if they're using Zebec at the if they're using Zebec at these what was this MoneyGram locations, MoneyGram is big and people send a lot of money through MoneyGram. So just think, instead of going to MoneyGram and sending money, it would be crazy if you could use MoneyGram and stream the money to wherever you're streaming it to. So again, I want to see the wallets, man. I want to see somebody stream something to a wallet and just watch the whole process, right? I know it works, right? Or these guys wouldn't be pushing it, but I want to see it. But we will see. Zebec highlights Stellar's payment focus and points to Stellar's MoneyGram access. So this is one of the cleanest parts of the Zebec story. It's not just look another chain's integration. its payroll infrastructure expanded beyond Solana into a network built for payments. This is not the usual crypto partnership where two logos hold hands on X and then vanish into the blockchain abyss, right? These guys are actually working together, and the partnership will be, I guess, beneficial for both parties, right? And we know that it is going to be on point for both of these guys, right? It's going to help both partners or both parties involved. Freaking no, maybe it's my allergies. Oh God. Some tokens exist for vibes. ZBCN is at least trying to make ZBCN a Zebec do chores around the house. This is the bull case in one sentence. If the product gets used, the token's not just sitting there looking pretty, it is wired into the economics. So metrics, God dang, sentiment numbers your audience can reach. So 21.4 million bi-weekly payroll. I think we just looked at this as well. 49 million monthly payroll volume. 13,100 employees across 243 enterprise clients. 65.1 million in total card volume on a rolling 4-week annualized basis. 21,626 cards issued, 5,000 plus transactions processed, available in 97 countries, 100 plus tokens across 19 chains, 40 plus white label partners. Zebec says its 22nd chain integration is ahead. Now, these are company reported metrics. So always keep in mind, but if you're asking why people are even talking about Zebec right now, this is why. There's an actual operating numbers attached to the narrative. Half of crypto is promises. The other half is screenshots. Zebec at least showed up with some numbers. So for the actual news, is a major announcement actually coming? What we can say responsibly, we do not have confirmed mystery mega announcement from Zebec as of right now. But the official updates point to several likely near-term catalysts. The mobile super app rollout, deeper AI payment infrastructure, expanded card options, enterprise onboarding, more white label deployments, and another chain integration. So the smart version of the title is not another secret, it's the setup is there for another big Zebec headline. If Zebec delivers one or two more of these roadmaps items cleanly, the market may treat this like a major announcement anyway. And that's what I was saying anyway, guys. Zebec's been standing on business, guys. They're not here to FUD. They're not here to go back and forth. These guys are standing on business. So let me know in the comments what you guys think that announcement will be. We're definitely trying to hunt it down, but we have not succeeded. So over to X. On X, 1 year after our spaces with Dr. Martin Hazelback, we're back. Next Thursday was yesterday with the Uphold. Tune in as we talk through recent developments at Zebec and what's ahead at XRP Vegas. And in the update, he did mention there was a big announcement coming, and he said big twice, so we know it's something big coming. Is Zebec about to explode? Let me know in the comments. So this is Captain Zach. Captain Zach has been going crazy. So Uphold posted, stacked and ready. See you in Vegas, XRP Army. So I don't know. I might have to squeeze and sneak out to Vegas. We'll see. Oh man. So this is Captain Zach again. Top investor powers. ZBCN pirates have been telling the smart money backed Zebecs early. Now the rails are going live. So this is Lightspeed, Golden Tree, DTS Global, GFC, Global Founders Capitals, Republic Capital. I don't even know what this is. Smima Capital, Republic Capital. I don't know why Republic Capital is on here twice. OKX Blockchain Ventures, Solana Ventures, Distributed Global, OKX Ventures is here again, Coinbase and Circle. I don't know why OKX in Republic Capital is on there twice, but whatever. So what is this? Zebec to the moon. Thanks, Harry. Keeping it moving. Republic investors back Zebec. Republic is powering pre-spots. Do the math. Now that the picture gets really interesting, here's the full bull case. The Republic connection is the smoking gun. Look at the web of relationships here. Republic, Join Republic, is the platform powered by pre-spats. Republic Capital has also co-led Zebec's original seed round. And Republic Capital's investment vehicles hold direct stakes in Zebec Labs. Two separate Republic Capital funds are formally invested in Zebec. This isn't a distant association. Republic literally has skin on both sides of this deal. Now, layers on what Zebec actually does. SpaceX has roughly 13,000 employees. The entire purpose is enabled per second payroll streaming instead of monthly lump sum payments. Salaries flow continuously in real time. If pre-spat tokens, SpaceX equality on Solana, and Republic is the infrastructure partner, who better to handle payroll and treasury management side of Solana native payroll protocol Republic already backed and believes in? The deflationary timing couldn't be better. The final token unlock completed in March 2026. No new ZBCN supplies enter circulation from here. And the protocol shifts to a fully deflationary model where supply contracts outpaces expansion, and the demand surge from SpaceX Solana narrative hits the supply constraint token, and the ecosystem momentum's already building. So I posted this. You can read the rest on there if you want. This is Captain Zach. ZBCN Pirates, listen up. Simon just dropped a serious confidence yesterday. We're crossing $1 billion in annual payroll volume this year. Right now, we're running a steadily 48 million monthly. And do the math, 558 million annualized. That means something's big's loading up to blast past the $1 billion mark. And that's not hopium, it's already in motion. We're talking native real-time streaming payroll live on Stellar Global Remittance, MoneyGram Reach, instant payouts across borders, USD1 stablecoin fully integrated into the super app for instant dollar payroll, bulk transfer and card spending, super app rolling with budgets and early wage access, and the mobile version dropping soon. White label tools, more change coming, enterprise clients scaling, and real world rails. FedNow bridges legacy finance to on chain speed. 250 enterprise, 50K monthly active users. Q1 already showed a strong growth, and that's just the ramp up. So you can read the rest on the BTM crypto.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, how much snipers doing today?
Thought I'll pause that. I'm looking for. I was watching this video earlier, trying to see if I pulled it up, and it does not look like I do have.
Somebody
it
who
on
has
here.
been in crypto for a few cycles will tell you the exact same thing if they're being honest with you, right?
This is weird. He literally told me to stop these videos. Why are they auto playing? But let me find this video real quick. This is Lead a Captain. I know you guys hate this guy, but I want to play something because he mentioned something about the updates from the what is that? We talked about updates from the video from earlier. Oh, wow. I was looking at something else, getting sidetracked. Just trying to find this video. Give me a second. That's weird. It freaking pops up any other time. So did the video not drop today? It had to, because he was talking about the live, not the live stream. He was talking about the Spaces update. When I literally just watched this earlier. Was it this guy? Let's see if this is it.
Zebec has been talking about another reminder, which is actually what they even posted not too long ago. Nothing I say is financial advice, but did you know that Zebec...
I'm tripping. I found it. Okay, I found it. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. Let's play.
So why is there a talk about a major announcement? Even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, I think it's because literally the CEO of Zebec, Simon, recently on Spaces, he did mention something regarding a major announcement. I'm going to quote him actually, and I'm actually going to show what he said on the screen in terms of the transcript, or a part of it, I should say. Simon, he says how, well, there will be a major announcement. Now, what is this even in regard to? Someone in the Spaces asked him if he has like anything basically to kind of reveal or talk about, and he kind of responded in this way. But he did mention how he was going to reveal this announcement basically at XRP Las Vegas, which is allegedly the largest conference of its kind in the world, and it's going to be going on again in Las Vegas, Nevada from April 30th to May 1st, and I've actually been to Las Vegas many times. But yeah, besides that point though, what I find pretty unique about this is that we already know that, again, Simon is going to be a keynote speaker there, but another keynote speaker is allegedly going to be the CEO of Ripple, which is, of course, Brad Garlinghouse. There's also going to be the CPO of Solana, which is another keynote speaker there. But if I'm just assuming, right, we already know about Solana Ventures being a backer when it comes to Zebec. So it's not like if he announced a partnership with Solana, it would be such a major announcement. It could very well be, but if I just kind of assume what they've already done in the past with Solana Ventures, I probably wouldn't want to speculate about a Solana partnership or something like that, just because we've already kind of seen what they did with Solana Ventures in the past. So let's kind of cross that one out. Now, what does it leave us with? I think hypothetically, maybe a Ripple partnership. Now, could this happen? Again, I don't know. I'm not a part of their team. But if he's planning to announce it literally at that conference, and then at the same time, he's labeling it as a major announcement, wouldn't a Ripple partnership just make sense? I mean, who knows again at this point? I mean, of course, Simon probably knows, but I'm saying, who knows, right? Generally speaking. But I'm only assuming that this could very well be the next step. I mean, we already know about their partnership with Stellar. That was pretty massive. Isn't basically the next step Ripple? I mean, again, Ripple's number one within this space in terms of global trade and finance. Stellar's number two. They already did something with number two. Number one would just make sense. Again, with something like Ripple, I don't think it's too far-fetched, right? Because some people out there like to tell me that, what do you mean Ripple partnership? That's never going to happen. They like to say that. Well, my thing is, a lot of people also said that in regard to Stellar. Back then, a lot of people told me that Zebec would never, ever even do anything with Stellar. Stellar is too massive for Zebec. And that was when ZBCN was, again, not doing the best. It wasn't that popular. I'm totally aware about how, again, it was logical to assume that Zebec would probably at that time never have a partnership with Stellar, but then eventually they did. Now, again, if I consider that, I don't think a Ripple partnership, a hypothetical one at that, seems too far-fetched to me. It just doesn't. I just wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Now, would it be though? Again, we'll wait and see. I mean, at the bare minimum, right? I would probably have to wait until April 30th because that's when the conference is starting, goes until May 1st. So we'll have to wait and see. But at the same time, in my opinion, what could this partnership really do when it comes to, I think, the future of Zebec, if it were to happen? I think, if anything, it would really, I think, enhance the fundamentals of it. Just because, again, the Stellar partnership did really do, I think, massive things for Zebec in terms of the, I guess, perceived fundamentals. So I think the Ripple one would just elevate it a little bit more than that. Because if, let's say, Zebec announced a partnership with XDC, it would be cool, but it wouldn't be at the level of like Stellar. So if, again, the CEO is literally talking about a major announcement, and he even mentioned major twice, right? He said major announcement. So if he's even emphasizing it in that way, I'm hypothetically assuming maybe it might be more dynamic.
So that's where I got it from. He said not major. He said major, not big. He said major, right? And with the major announcement, I think it has to be something to do with XRP or Ripple. It would be crazy if he said they partnered with Ripple, or if Ripple bought them out, or I don't know, man. I'm just trying to speculate because it's a lot going on. What do you guys think is this major announcement coming down the pipeline? Let me know in the comments. That's the only reason I played this video, because I wanted to talk about the major announcement. So let me know in the comments, and let's get back to the video.
Than the Stellar partnership. I don't think a partnership with Solana would really cut it. No, I don't think so. I think a partnership with XDC wouldn't really cut it either. I think the one that would be actually quote unquote major, as Simon would put it, would probably have to be a Ripple partnership. And I don't think it's too far-fetched for me to assume that they've been probably working on this for quite a while, if it were to be the case. The reason why is because if I kind of do a little bit of a, I guess, research, what was showcased in a roadmap that Zebec posted not too long ago, we already saw the Stellar logo. And at that time, a lot of people were thinking, well, what's going to go on when it comes to that? Why did they put that picture? And then suddenly, not long after that, we saw a Stellar partnership. But they also have another logo there, which is, of course, we already know, it was a logo of XRP. And it was actually like side by side sort of with the Stellar logo. And it was like very small. It wasn't something so massive like that. It was very ambiguous. So it wasn't something they just put out that was so massive like that. No, it was very kind of small. And we had to kind of re-look at it to kind of really see it, right? But then if some people did see it, I think they were probably like, whoa, what was that? I think that was the initial general reaction, which was the case for me as well. But then suddenly we saw the Stellar partnership. And then I looked back at that roadmap and I was like, wait, what? That could have been a clue actually, right? So when I take a look at, in the case of a hypothetical Ripple partnership, it would kind of be a full circle type of moment in terms of what they showcased, I think, as an Easter egg of sorts, right? In their recent roadmap that I saw not that long ago, it would just kind of complete it because they already did the Stellar partnership. So the Ripple one, it would just kind of make sense, in my opinion, if they were to do that. Now, will they? Again, it's only time will tell type of scenario, but we already know at least the timeline in which Simon is planning to announce it. Again, it's either going to be April 30th to May 1st. So we'll have to wait and see. That's the kind of timeline. But I'm just really happy to see this nonetheless, because a lot of people probably thought that, oh, wow, Zebec doesn't really care anymore because the market isn't doing the best. The ZBCN is down by quite a lot. Despite all that, though, I still see the kind of motivation and the dedication when it comes to the team. Now, does a dedicated team or a very motivated team always translate to what goes on in the charts? No, not really. I mean, we see a lot of other projects out there have a very dedicated team and the charts don't really do anything. I think more so that's kind of affected by the sentiment and the market conditions. But if a project out there is kind of, I guess, ignoring that and then focusing on the fundamentals, that's what I like to see, just because it showcases that they're not easily swayed by the emotions that sometimes could happen as a result of the charts moving. So I do like seeing that. And Zebec, what I find very fascinating is that the team is not so massive. And I mentioned this in quite a lot of my videos, actually, when it comes to Zebec, but I'm just very surprised that a project of this size just has over 25 team members. Keep in mind, that's across New York, San Francisco, and as well as London. Just 25 plus team members, like that's not that many. Other projects out there of this size, the team would be a couple times bigger at least, but I just don't see it here. So as of right now,
and that was the other talking point, right? With a team this size, right? I mean, with a project this size, it should be in the hundreds, right? They're doing it with a small team, which means things are together and things are unified. So if they can do it with a small army, what do you think is going to happen once the team gets bigger and they really start putting in work? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Now on to the next video.
Now just waiting. And yeah, I just thought it was a pretty cool update. So of course I naturally wanted to talk about it. ZBCN still market cap is around 265 million. So again, hasn't really done that much, but still waiting. I'll wait and see what happens, but I'll be sure to make more updates along the way. So hopefully y'all stay tuned for that. I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day.
So this is Grow Rich and Grow Happy talking about Canon's price refuses to rise, and this is why.
Today's message. Some people need for you to be afraid. And when I say afraid, I mean just afraid of your future, afraid of what tomorrow may bring, to be afraid of just things in general. Because if you aren't afraid of your destiny and aren't afraid what your investment is going to produce or what it's not going to produce, you're not afraid, then it makes them have to confront, why are they? Don't let that go over your head. Welcome back, all my free thinkers. That place where we follow the breadcrumbs to wealth. And I got a very good episode for you guys, all you Canton holders and all of you that are on the fence with Canton. This one is going to break down why I'm so bullish on this asset. But not only that, why, with all of the money that's flowing through it, why we are just looking at a 15-cent price. And believe me, after this video, watch it in its entirety, you're going to understand, and you're probably going to step back and say, oh, wait a minute. Not only has crypto changed in the way value reaches its holders and how we should be validating what we are holding, but I understand now, and I am bullish on the Canton Network as well. Of course, nothing I say here is financial advice, but believe me, guys, this is the episode you want to watch because it's going to put a lot of your hesitation, a lot of your skepticism about the Canton Network to bed. At least it did for me. But before we go any further, do me a favor, smash that like button, give me a sub, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any of these videos. Swing over to growrich.growhappy.com. Check out my book, Overcoming Self for Crypto Wealth, as what I'm going to be doing today. And when in doubt, you go to the white paper, right? And I'm going to go to the white paper. I'm going to show you something, and then I'm going to make it all line up so we can hit it in that corner pocket, guys. This is the episode you want to watch. Now, before we get started, do me a favor. Guess what? It's a new episode of the Zebec Nation podcast. It dropped today, and we did a community spotlight on Crypto Neptune. I hope you guys caught my last video, my Zebec video, where I told you guys to go over, check out his channel and subscribe. I'll leave it down below again, as well as the Zebec Nation podcast link. Make sure you go over there, guys, subscribe to the channel and listen to our in-depth conversation that we had, because it was off the chains. We talked about life. We talked about Zebec, crypto, how you should prepare, and how you should just be looking at things in general. We talked about a lot of different things. I think it was a little politics up in there as well. So make sure you go over, show us some love. I say us because I'm a co-host over there, guys. Also, make sure you look down below, take advantage, get you a cold storage wallet. All I deal with is Tangem. 10% discount on Tangem cold storage wallet. Use my discount code down below and get you one. Okay, now, without further ado, guys, we're going to jump right into this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to jump over and we're going to check out a comment I got on the last episode of Canton. Flash it up here. Make sure you check that out, guys. But now let's do some education. Now, I want to come down here. This is the last video I did. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to shout out. He has a long name, but I'm just going to go off the end. 8787, I'm shout you out. This is a great comment. You said, can you explain how the price relates to usage? They have 300 billion running through the Canton network at a price of 15 cents. So $1 trillion running through would be around 50 cents. Burn to mint equilibrium. Now, this is where a lot of people do get confused. Even I got confused on this as well. It was like, look at all of this is going on. Plus, just today, I believe I'm going to jump over and show you, they're burning tokens as well. There's not showing how, but I get it now. And you guys are about to as well. So I'm going to jump over here. And currently right now, they're ranked number 21 on CoinGecko. And that's a big ranking considering they just dropped like in November, right? They shot right up to 5 billion in market cap, and they got a total supply of 38 billion. So what this individual, 8787, what they are talking about, they're talking about right here, 280 billion in average daily processed trade values or volumes on Broadridge distributed ledger repo platform. All of this right now is running through the Canton network. So people's like, if all of this is running through there, why is the price stuck? There's a good reason for that. Well, we have to remember in a video I did, and I'll flash that video as well, I let you hear the co-founder from Canton Network, and he was talking about all of this running through. They're doing it for free. Yeah, go figure, right? They're letting them run all of these rails and all of this, use their rails for free, including the DTCC. There's a reason for that. And this is why I say you are not only early, but boy, what I got to show you guys. So we got that. So this is the reason, guys, why we're not, the token is not required right now. Canton Network is letting them use their rails for free to show them this is the place you want to be. But I'm going to go a little bit further. Now we go here. Check this out. They put this out recently. Almost 3 billion Canton tokens burn. People's like, how the hell are you burning tokens, right? There's nothing being used. Now you look down here and you look, this one comment says, but the price doesn't move. I'm starting to think this was a bad investment. And you see a lot of other people, a couple people that liked on it. Well, that's because you're thinking with the old crypto mentality. Well, if this is happening and they're taking tokens out of circulation and all this money running through, well, how come we're stuck at 15 cents. Let me sell it and go over and buy maybe something like an Ethereum or Bitcoin where I can see the fruits of the things that they do and the usage and people holding these tokens. I can see it go up. You would be badly mistaken to do that. And here is why, guys. So what I want to do next, I want to jump over here because I'm going somewhere with this. This is, I believe her name is Nadine, and she's over the DTCC.
So that's weird. But yeah, what if the Zebec is partnering with Canton Network? That would be something crazy too. What do you guys think about that in the comments? Somebody, everybody, anybody. Let me know what you think.
I want you to hear a conversation that she had. We're not going to play it all because this is the DTCC and this is why they chose Canton Network. And this is all going to make sense to you with what I have to show you next. Here we go.
What do your clients need you to do right now? What are the things that are top of mind that's pressing? We've seen the work with the Canton Network. I imagine the privacy, among, from with our other conversations, is top of mind.
I would tell you that's critical, right? It's we can't have one institutional investor with the ability to peek in the wallet of somebody else. So that's what attracted us to the Canton Network, and that's what attracted our clients to that. But if I move a little bit away from the Canton Network a little bit, or the various L1s, there is still a little bit of work that needs to be done by the industry to get them ready. Right. So we're still getting questions about, what is the right wallet infrastructure that I should use? How should I?
Now, you notice she said they can't have one client being able to peek in the wallet of another client and see, what's going on, see value and see things like that. This is why they chose the Canton Network for its privatism. If that's a word, privatism. Anyway, listen.
Should I think through my trades? Because as I said earlier, the tokenization process honestly is the easiest part, but what we in the industry are worried about is liquidity. How do you make sure you don't fragment liquidity when you've got the same token operating on many different L1s or L2s, trading on many L1s and L2? You've got some price discrepancy. You also have got, I'm going to call it a gas tax that kicks in, right? So there's some friction that occurs. The other thing that you can't forget is not everything is going to tokenize at the same.
Also, guys, you can follow me over on LinkedIn as well. My link is down below.
Speed. So for a period of time, we're going to have a foot in the old and a foot in the new. So think through these large firms that need to do risk management, reporting, support their clients. Think of their middle and their back offices. They've spent decades fitting their systems to manage accounts and do reconciliation. And now we're introducing new rails that deal with wallets where reconciliations are really not important because the chain is the golden source of records, but you still have got a tag between the old and the new. So those are all really important factors so working with our client base, all our participants, to really get them ready, then get them to hone in on their business cases, and then choose the right networks for them. But again, Canton was chosen for their compliance and for the point that a lot of our clients sort of pushed us there and then directed us there. And then there
it is right there. You see that. Now, this is why the DTCC chose them, but everybody's saying, and I understand, even I sat back and said, if this is happening, how come the price is not moving? I mean, granted, 15 cents, I'd like it. It's a steal.
That's my point as well. If they got so much going on, why is the price not pushing up? Let's realize this is actually a Canton video, but I guess we'll finish the video out.
But here's why. Let's go over here. Now, when all in doubt, check out my book, Overcoming Self for Crypto Wealth, over on growrichgrowhappy.com, so you can learn the true basics, because it all is going to go back to basics, but you're always going to have to sometimes unlearn. Provide technology foundations that are unmoored from real world use cases. Rather, they say we are 15 years from when Bitcoin first introduced a new paradigm for digital value transfer. unfortunately, in that span of time, we have seen very few meaningful uses of digital tokens. Instead, false promises of technological revolution have jaded many observers and rightly drawn the scrutiny of regulators and policymakers. Now we're going to jump down here. Now, instead, we have been given digital tokens that rely on immature technology foundations that are unmoored from real world use cases. Rather than provide real world utility, they have simply served as regulatory arbitrage capital raising vehicles. And this is what you get. You get it with your initial coin offerings. You know, technology that's not proven. Remember, Canton Network has been building for over a decade to perfect this without giving us anything. Now I'm going to continue. Rather than provide real world utility, they have simply served as regulatory arbitraged capital raising vehicles. Unsurprisingly, these tokens have, as a result, been subject to rampant speculation and, in many cases, served as vehicles for fraud. Tokens first technology. So, Canton's different. They was working on the technology first and their blockchain, and then they have these tokens. They dropped the token, which was in November. Now we're going to continue. And this is why use cases need to come first. And for better or worse, the potential use cases for natively digital value transfer are plenty. The financial system is saddled with inefficiencies. Information.
So before we go too far down, let's get back to Zebec. I just realized that it's not actually a Zebec video. We're talking about Canton, which is cool as well. Maybe they're going to partner with Zebec, but this is Crypto Future Zebec update, breaking the crypto market right now.
Nice little back workout, lots of cardio, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul, healthy portfolio, guys, all around your life, right? Let's talk about a couple of things here. Now, first of all, the XRP Las Vegas event, right? We got to talk about it, guys, because there's a lot of bullishness, a lot of bullish sentiment out there when it comes to Zebec and this conference. Now, I've been in crypto a long time, multiple cycles. And listen, anybody who has been in crypto for a few cycles will tell you the exact same thing if they're being honest with you, right? When we see these kind of events take place, you'll notice that Zebec has been doing pretty good in terms of price action. It pumps nicely lately over the last couple of weeks, and it holds up strong against the market when the market dumps, right? Now, the thing is, again, we go to these events, we have what's known, if you're new in crypto, as a buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? And I keep getting asked by everybody, especially in our VIP community, if it's a good time to be putting in a long or something the day of the XRP Las Vegas event, putting in a long for Zebec and stuff, because as we know, just to catch you guys up, we have some major announcements coming out from Zebec at the XRP Las Vegas conference, right? This month. Now, again, sell the room, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? And I know, guys, listen, there's a lot of you guys that don't want to hear this, right? But I'm here to give you the truth and the honest possibilities that could happen here, right? I'm not here to blow smoke up your arse and tell you what you want to hear, okay? I know that everybody wants to see a parabolic run on Zebec the day of the April 30th and May 1st. They want to see major announcements. They want to see the prices of Zebec go parabolic and stuff like that. I got to be honest with you guys, right? I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see some amazing announcements, and then we're going to see a lot of people start to take profits, and we're going to see a sell the news event, right? I think we're going to see downward price action on Zebec around the XRP Las Vegas event. We've seen it many, many times in the past for many, many different crypto projects. And I know that everybody wants to say, well, Zebec is different than everything else. Yes and no. It still abides by the same laws, the crypto space, as everything else. And I'm going to use Dogecoin as an example. I'm not saying Dogecoin and Zebec are on the same level or anything like that. It's before you get your panties in a bunch, okay? But it is a good example of massive community sentiment, very, very bullish around a catalyst that's coming up, that was coming up at that time in the 2021 cycle, which was Elon Musk being on Saturday Night Live. And everyone was anticipating, I think Dogecoin was about 72, 73 cents or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And at the time, and everyone was convinced that Elon Musk being on Saturday Night Live was going to, and he was going to talk about Dogecoin, and Dogecoin was going to jump up over $1, right? Everyone was convinced about it. Similar sentiment, probably more bullish sentiment then than we see now, because we were at the peak of a bull run too. Now we're in a bear market, right? That's just another reason why we probably won't see a parabolic run. But I digress. The day that Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live, Dogecoin price plummeted. Everybody sold the news.
And that's what I remember too, which is one of my worst times in crypto. These guys were hyping it, and I kind of knew, right? Because they had said, people had said previously that it's gonna crash. I was like, nah, it's gonna do something, right? Why would it crash? Why would it crash? Because he's going on Saturday Night Live, right? But I guess they were right, because it definitely crashed, and it definitely was something to do with literally buy the news. What is it? Buy the rumor and sell the news, which I think he might be onto something here too. When Zebec does go to XRP Vegas, they probably are going to have a major announcement. And some of these guys are going to sell, just flat out, guys. I'm not even going to fudge you. I'm not even going to hold you up. I'm not even going to play in your face. Some of these guys are going to hold and sell as soon as that announcement's made and the price goes up. So just be prepared, right? Plan accordingly. But I can guarantee you, a lot of these guys that got in at the, what is that? The 007, well, 0001, 0002, and got in early, they're going to sell. Some of these guys have been waiting to sell. And if it pumps more, if it pumps to 1 penny or beyond, a lot of people are going to sell. Just prepare yourselves, right? Make sure you have a plan before it happens. As Mike Tyson always says, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. But make sure you have a plan or a good extra strategy just in case it does crash out.
Right? Everybody took profits, and a bunch of people were left holding their bags, right? And I'm not saying this because I like to be negative, guys. I don't like being negative, but at the same time, I don't want you guys to be bag holders and be like, you know, it's going to pump, and then it doesn't pump and it crashes, and then you're all disappointed because you didn't take any profits or anything like that, right? So you have to know both sides of the coin, both possibilities, so that you can make an educated decision on whether you want to take profits or you want to just hold, right? If you want to know what I'm doing, you got to be a part of our VIP community to, know what I'm doing with my portfolio, if I'm going to take profits or if I'm not going to take profits. But
all I'm saying is these guys, like he's saying on the Discord, these guys are going to get together and have a plan. So make sure you have a plan and an extra strategy, because they're definitely planning, right? There's money involved, right? I know how people get emotional, and people like I just remember a lot. So one of the things I saw on X during the Elon Musk Doge thing, this guy was like, "Stop selling. I have a family." Well, you should have planned better. That's all I can tell you, right? I'm not hating on him, or I'm not trying to FUD this guy, but make sure you have a plan. and a backup plan, and you have some limit set or stop losses just in case. I'm not saying that you should dump or sell out, but have a plan, because if these guys do dump at a certain number, right, and you don't know until they start dumping, if they are working together and dump at the same time, the exchanges are going to freeze like they did with what was that? Robinhood did with Dodge, whatever you want to call it. Once it started dumping, right? Once they got to a certain number, they locked the exchange, right? So you couldn't even get out if you wanted to. So make sure there's definitely a plan in place, because they will more than likely be prepared. Just make sure you are prepared, right? Like you said, don't get caught holding the bag.
So that's the other side of it, guys, when it comes to Zebec, right? It's a very, very real possibility that we see that correction and people taking profits in it. Okay, so be careful. I love Zebec. I'm not fighting Zebec, but you can't just be, like blinders on of what you want to happen, and anything outside of what you want to hear, you get angry at and start calling people names and stuff like that. You can't. That's not how to invest, guys, right?
Yeah, guys, this is a business, right? It's not personal. This is just business. If these guys are dumping, you can't get mad, call names, and want to burn the whole establishment down. You're mad because you didn't have a plan. So like I'm telling you, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you're ready to get out if you have to. I'm not saying it's not going to bounce back and not going to come back up, but somebody's going to dump. I'm going to tell you straight up. It is somebody who's been waiting for a Zebec Vegas to dump, right? They've been waiting. They've been plotting. They've been together. And when it happens together, they're going to dump it, right? So just be prepared, right? I wish somebody had told me when Dodge took off that was what the play was, or at least it was a possibility, because I definitely would have got out, because I know a lot of people got out. Like literally the price started dropping Saturday night. Before he even came on TV, it was already dumping. And by the time he started speaking, it soared and then it crashed out, right? But they already planned that. I'm not sure if it was, a lot of people saying it was an inside job and it was Elon and his guys that dumped. But whoever it was, he was like, it's a crappy meme coin or something. He was like, I bought my mom some. As soon as he said that, it tanked. So whoever knew, whoever was involved knew he was going to say that. And when he did say that, hit the button, or they already had the button hit and it just showed up when he said that. But just be careful.
And I know there'll be that one or two guys in the comment section that say, I don't know what I'm talking about, blah, 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 blah. And then the price will correct on that day. And that person who said, I didn't know what I was talking about, will be nowhere to be found to say, I'm sorry, you were right. They won't be around, right? So their comments don't mean anything. But in saying that, guys, I also wanted to touch on the market itself. Now we're seeing ships being able to go through the Strait of Hormuz right now, which is very, very bullish, right? In the short term, apparently they're going to allow ships to go through for the next 2 weeks while they negotiate the terms of this peace talks, or whatever the case might be, right? Which is fantastic. But I think it's going to be a volatile 2 weeks nonetheless, right? We all know how Trump is. The minute something in those negotiations doesn't go exactly the way that Trump wants it to, he's going to put out some ridiculous, exaggerated, over-the-top tweet to the negative, which could bring the price of stuff down. So just be careful with your leverage trading and stuff like that if that's what you're doing, because high volatility potential, guys, right? And be paying attention every single day to what's going on with the situation in Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, Trump, and all these negotiations. You must be paying attention, because in the drop of a dime, the market could pump or the market could dump. And if you're leverage trading longs or shorts or whatever, You could get liquidated. You could get wrecked. So be mindful, be careful out there. Okay. And then finally, I wanted to also talk about Canton a little bit, because there's so many people don't really understand. People want institutions, they want smart money and all this to come into crypto. They want that adoption, right? For the market to really, really accelerate from like a $2 or $3 trillion asset class to like a 20, 30, $40 trillion asset class, right? You want that to happen. But at the same time, people like, well, these, and we talk about it a lot over on Coin Vault. They talk about, we talk about it, but people say, well, these super validators, like the good old boys running stuff and blah, 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 right? And there's bad sides to that, yes, but there's also good to it as well, right? I mean, actors like Visa and stuff like that, Deutsche Bank being super validators, yeah, they get to decide who else gets to become a super validator, but JP Morgan and all that stuff, right? But here's what I would say to that. Look what happened, and I used over on Coin Vault an example, Onyx Coin, XCN, right? A DAO. Look what happened there. We had a bad actor in Justin Sun who came in and extorted, in my opinion, Onyx Coin for them to give him a crap load of Onyx Coin tokens, right? And then he was talking and fudding all over X and social media about how XCM was a scam to make them give him tokens for free. They dumped like a crap ton of tokens in his lap, and then the next day he started talking about how great XCN was on social media. That guy's, in my opinion, is a bad actor in the space, right? And then because he got all those coins, he was able to sway decisions in the DAO because he had all of those tokens. He still does, right? So he can sway decisions on proposals and all that kind of stuff, right? He's very influential in the DAO over on Onyx Coin. Now, in saying that, these super validators have the ability to keep bad actors like that out of Canton's space, where they keep the Justin Suns out and stuff like that, who want to extort the project for free tokens so that he can make money, right? So that's, to me, that's a good thing, right? It filters out bad actors in the space who are not acting in good faith, first of all, right? Secondly, guys, Canton literally is the bridge to bring, again, everyone wants to see institutional money and smart money come into the space, bring up the market cap, focus on tokenized RWAs and stuff like that, and just build out the entire crypto asset class, shooting the market cap of it through the roof, and everyone wants to make money. Well, guess what? Smart money and institutions can't and will not do that without a very, very key factor, and that is privacy, right? Why do they need privacy on their transactions? Not to hide it from Joe the farmer, to hide it from their competition, right? I mean, you don't give your books over to your direct competitors in the business world. Why would you want them to see it on a ledger, right? It's just common sense. And Canton is the bridge that provides that privacy to the institutions and smart money to come into the space, right? To pour liquidity into the space, to engage in the crypto space, right? And you're seeing all these other projects now partnering with Canton and working with Canton. Zebec is a perfect example, right? So there's some downside. It's like, centralization versus decentralization. But for me, I like the concept of super validators being able to keep bad actors out of the space, out of Canton's ecosystem. I like that concept. And I like what Canton does, being the bridge to bring and convert smart money into the crypto space, the tokenized assets, bonds, all that yields, all that kind of stuff, right? Stocks, they're coming in, man. And that's liquidity coming into the space as a whole, right? So not just for crypto, but also for certain stocks as well, right? It's a win-win in my opinion. That's just how a quick summary of how I kind of view it. I'm very, very bullish on Zebec, very, very bullish on Canton, obviously, guys. So yeah, and listen, finally, I just dropped, as I've been talking about, I just dropped another potential 100x gem over on the Patreon. A lot of you guys over on YouTube have been telling me that you're wanting, I've been putting polls out and stuff. You're saying, man, we want to get in early on gems and stuff like that. Well, guys, I've been dropping them over in our VIP community. A 100x gem I just dropped last week. I got 6 more in the pipeline that I'm going to be dropping, and many, many more to come. Plus, guys, I'm also putting together a course. Every single day I put out a video teaching our VIP community how to build a $1 million portfolio throughout the course of the 2029 cycle. So if you want to learn how to do that properly, how to build a $1 million portfolio, how to structure things, how to take profits, how to roll profits, how to swing trade, and everything else to make your portfolio reach that 7-figure goal that you really, really want to get to, jump aboard the train today, guys. Join me and thousands of like-minded individuals in our community over in our trading group, 10 different chat rooms. We also created a brand new education tier that's only $20 to get in, guys, and learn everything you need to know to succeed in this space. Metrics, tools, technical analysis, and how to navigate your emotions and your mental state of mind when you see flash crashes and stuff, and so much more. Get the support from a community. You get to book one-on-one or group coaching calls if you want to chat with me personally. You have questions, Q&A sessions, all that stuff. Patreon-only content.
So that's a pretty good video. A lot of good information there. Shout out to Future Crypto. Just him again. Another video. Wow, it's a 30-minute video. Looked at this one. Looked at that one. I guess we'll see what Trading Sniper has to say.
Hey, hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one, the only, legendary, you guessed it, Zebec Network. Listen, right? I want to talk about the big picture first, and then we are going to dive into the smaller picture. We can see overall, right, despite Zebec going up over the last few weeks, we have to recognize that we are still technically in a downtrend, right? We are still technically in a downtrend. And, you know, we can't get overly excited too yet. I say this just because I know some people really think that we're going to start pumping right away. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want that to be the case, you have to realize that in order for us to get that next level confirmation, we really need to start breaking swing points for structure. You know what I'm talking about? Basically, if we look at the weekly, right, which we're on right now, the swing points are the highest points. We see we have a point up here, we have an area up here, we have an area up here. And even back in the end of September, I said this too, that we had this insane candle to the upside. And I was overall speculating for us to go to the downside and sweep certain zones, right? We had this huge up candle. I remember people were saying, oh no, like we're going to be going to the moon. You were wrong, yada, yada, yada. But you have to realize, I said, hey guys, just watch out, because in terms of swing points, we did close actually lower. We closed lower here, then we did here, and we closed lower here, then we did here. So we're still not out the clear. And then we can see over the next few weeks how we sold off, right? And the same thing kind of happened here, right? Although we had some support and resistance and we tried to break out of it, at the end of the day, we went against the trend line. We failed. We sold off lower. And what happened? Well, we had this swing point here and we created another lower swing point. Same thing's happening right now, right? Whether this is the final swing point or a little bit higher, right? If we do not overtake 0.0032, then at the end of the day, we are still in the same type of picture. We are still in the same type of trend, right? It's the same thing. Like even, okay, let's say right now, let's play devil's advocate. Even if we do close lower, right? Then the first sign would have to be having a higher low, right? Because we can see in terms of the bigger picture, we haven't had a higher low in a very, very long time, right? We have these lows over here. We have a lower low, lower low, lower low, and lower low. So in terms of swing points, we have lower lows consistently. Yes, sure, on individual weeks, there may have been some weeks here and there where we are a little bit higher, but the general zones, we can see that lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and lower lows, right? In terms of the swing points, we have high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Even right now, lower high. Even if we go up a little bit higher, it's most likely still lower high. So the overall trend is still down. The last time we had a, this was considered a higher low was when we were kind of, reversing over here back in the June and early July, right? That's kind of last time. It's same thing with these swing points, right? We had a low, higher low, higher low. Then we were, like I said, against higher low, but then we were getting squished. We're getting squished here because we're creating lower highs and we're creating higher lows, right? And that's why we had those indecision months. When we go look at September, and October, right? They were like the 50-50 candles. You can even see the reflection in the weekly, and eventually we broke the downside. So I just want to say, do not get overhyped just yet. We are still prone to possibly taking out these bottoms down here at 0.0019. When we go look at something like the daily, we can see that we have to make a decision very, very soon where we want to go. We have a high over here. We have a lower high. We have a lower high. We have a low, higher low, higher low. So again, we're getting squished, but instead of it being on the monthly or the weekly, it's on the daily. And we can see right now in terms of the 4-hour, the 4-hour does suggest for me that we're going to be going lower. Why? We have this low over here. So we have these highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We have these lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, right? And we have this lower high over here. Like, we are really, really getting squished. I do generally think that we are going to be going lower and lower, right? Even on the hourlies kind of suggest that right now we have kind of, break-even bottoms here. But overall, for me, I do think we are going to break to the downside. Would I like to be wrong? Sure. It doesn't bother me, right? For me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this type of price action doesn't really matter too much because I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm treating this more as well, everyone has a different definition of what medium to long term is, but for a couple months to 2 years, basically, right? At the end of the day, I do believe Zebec is going to be an inevitable good investment. I do still believe altcoin season will be this year based off the charts, right? The important charts. And we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see, right? Well, and then they will have to see. But for me, overall, when I look at something like Zebec, I see a very, 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 very undervalued crypto, right? If we go look at Zebec right now, if this would load up, we can see Bitcoin 73K. Something like Zebec Network is rank 122 out of 8,439 active crypto. So we did lose a little bit of ranking. But we're basically, 260 million market cap, 250, 260. For me, super undervalued. I'll say it before, I'll say it again. 2 billion market cap is where our floor should be. I really do believe we're undervalued. I still would have bought this crypto at 2 billion because I still would have believed it would hit at least 20 to 30 to 40 billion. So that's the thing, right? I believe this crypto is super underrated. And if I still think Zebec can hit 20 billion market cap, I'm looking at upwards of 100x, right? With my certain positions, I would be making over 100x, right? Obviously, easier said than done, right? Because once you start seeing money rise, once you're up 20, 30, 40x, potentially you're like, oh my gosh, it's like, wow, the money. But yeah, we will be monitoring absolutely everything. Of course, when it's going to be the time to sell, we will, have to, make adjustments to our plan. If Zebec tops out at 17 cents and I see reversal signs there, I'm cashing out. If I see no reversal signs, even if we go up to 30 cents, I'm still holding until we see reversal signs. And if Zebec does manage to go $1, let's say hypothetically, and then I see reversal signs, that's where I'm going to cash out. Because sometimes people ask me, oh, are you moving the goalpost? No. My prediction was 35 cents. I still think that's very, very possible. But I've always said it. If we have a flat altcoin season where Zebec only tops out at 5 cents, let's say hypothetically, God forbid, then it is what it is. I'm not the market maker, right? I'm not the market maker. I'll still gladly take my average of like 20x or whatever, right? At the end of the day, right? That's just the reality. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, in the last month, we're up roughly 30%. In the last week, we're up 4.2%. But we can overall see we are slightly trending downwards, right? In terms of the consistent high points, we are getting lower and lower. In the last 24 hours, we're down almost 3.5%. So the Soul Scan does say 100,424 holders. Very, very nice. Very, very ideal. And yeah, that is ultimately going to be it. We have to make a decision. We have to either huge pumps or a sell-off. Overall, I'm not usually a fan of price action that kind of has these consistent trends, right? They usually kind of break. Last time, we didn't really have that, right? Last time, we didn't really have that too much. We had something like this, right? A different type of triangle, right? Where, we're consistently going lower, lower, lower. And then we kind of had equal bottoms and then we broke out. Right. This is the type of pattern I would like to see. Technically, in theory, of course, if we do start selling off, we could eventually see it somewhere, maybe play out where we would get something like this, right? Because at the end of the day, we still maybe are just missing some structure, right? Maybe at the end of the day, we only go down to maybe 0.00238, right? We do something like this, eventually sell off, go up, boom, 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 right? The trend kind of continues, and eventually we break up, right? Eventually we break up. So yeah, we're going to be monitoring the situation. We'll see how things go. At the end of the day, right? Only time will tell. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.
I'm saving that video for later with the whole what was that? The towel thing. What is this? Where we did was this guy? Oh, yeah, see what he's talking about with Zebec Network and Ghostware.
Integration is now in place with.
Wait a second, I'll come back to this guy's kind of. Yeah, let's watch this one and come back to him.
On the upside. So, but before we get into all that, as per usual, we are going to spend the first couple of minutes of each Zebec video talking about fundamentals. And in this specific update, I want to talk about a very important, I'm not going to say shift. Let's just say this. Zebec is trying to expand their ecosystem. And this is actually one very key area for Zebec that does have a lot of potential. And in fact, right now, this area is one of the biggest trends, which is what? You know it, it's called AI agents. So there's actually a major problem in here, and we are going to, in this update,
Overloading the system or something. I don't know what happened, but the video stopped. My whole computer crashed out. But let's get back to the video.
The back-end integration is now in place with Ghost.
Wasn't the one we're watching. We're watching this guy.
Zebec's price chart and see what's happening in the short term. And spoiler alert, I think I'm able to argue that we are starting to see some very good signs suggesting hopefully we're going to have a bit of a move on the upside. So, but before we get into all that, as per usual, we are going to spend the first couple of minutes of each Zebec video talking about fundamentals. And in this specific update, I want to talk
What's
about
up, guys? In today's video,
important, I'm not going to say shift. Let's just say this. Zebec is trying to expand their ecosystem, and this is actually one very key area for Zebec that does have a lot of potential. And in fact, right now, this area is one of the biggest trends, which is what? You know it, it's called AI agents. So there's actually a major problem in here, and we are going to, in this update, try to at least break it down in simple terms. You see, at the moment, a lot of companies are building artificial intelligence agents that can work on their own. And when we are saying that they can work, we are talking about mainly, I would say, managing campaigns, maybe run some simple tasks, even interact with other softwares. But here is actually the missing piece. You see, these agents need money to operate. And when we are saying operate, we are talking about maybe paying for APIs, maybe services, maybe some infrastructures. And traditional banking, guess what? Just simply does not work in here because number one, banks are slow. They rely on approvals. Number three, everything happens in batches. And number four, which is the most important reason, well, unless you're not a human, you are not allowed to open an account in any bank, okay? It's very, very important to understand that. And unfortunately, this doesn't really match how software operates. And this, my friends, is exactly where Zebec can come in and save the day. You see, instead of giving an artificial intelligence a fixed budget or maybe waiting for payments to process, okay, Zebec is going to allow companies to stream money to these agents in real time. And you need to think of it like maybe a live budget that flows second by second. And because this runs on blockchain rails, that money, guess what, can absolutely be controlled with rules. And for example, you can maybe send a continuous payment to an artificial intelligence, but at the same time, limit exactly where and also how it can spend it. Now, looking at what this means for Zebec as a business, okay, this is actually, I think, a bit of a big expansion for them because before, they were focused on B2B payroll. And by that, we are talking about, you know it, if you are a regular viewer of the channel, we are talking about mainly convincing companies to switch how they pay employees. There is nothing wrong with that. Trust me, payroll is actually a great business. And one reason for why we are so optimistic for Zebec is number one, because they are getting a lot of attraction. And number two, payroll, the nature of it is actually quite a sticky business. So once a company is going to join Zebec, they are simply going to stuck with them, which is awesome. And that makes the fees and revenues very much predictable. But here's the deal. This whole process is a bit slow and also is going to take time. However, again, just like we said earlier, it also has definitely its benefits. But now they are also stepping into what you call B2A, which stands for business to AI agents, meaning instead of selling to HR teams, they are now becoming infrastructure for automated systems, which is awesome. And the interesting part here is actually the competition. You see, most companies in this space are focused mainly on building better artificial intelligence. Zebec here is focusing on the financial layer that those artificial intelligences will need to function. And if agents cannot handle money properly, trust me, they cannot operate in the real world. And that, my friends, puts Zebec in a position where its role is absolutely 100% supporting artificial intelligence, not necessarily competing with them, which is great. And finally, the scale of this whole situation is absolutely different than payroll. You see, human payroll grows quite a bit slowly. And again, this doesn't really mean that payroll business is bad. Absolutely not. But again, it definitely has its certain downsides. However, AI agents can actually scale in here very, very fast. And for example, one company might have a few thousand employees, but potentially hundreds of thousands of AI processing running all at the same time. And Zebec is positioning itself, at least is trying to position itself to handle payments for all of them, which I do think this area actually has the potential to bring a whole lot of revenue to Zebec's way. And this is where it gets a bit interesting, because now we are going to talk about how this directly, again, very important point, directly impacts ZBCN token. You see, if you think about it, AI agents don't really operate like humans. A human might get paid twice a month. However, an artificial intelligence could be making thousands and thousands of teeny tiny transactions every single day. And we are talking about, like we said earlier, paying for APIs, services, data, maybe even compute, and all of these things are all happening in real time. And Zebec's infrastructure is actually built for this kind of constant flow, not really occasional payments. Now, here is a very, very important point, and it's actually the part that you need to pay the most attention to. You see, every one of these small transactions actually is going to generate fees for Zebec. So if you scale this operation up to maybe thousands or potentially even, if you are lucky, millions of artificial intelligence agents, okay, essentially you're going to get massive increase in transaction count. And that means directly what? You know it, more and more fees and revenues, which is awesome for the network. And if you want to connect that to the token, you absolutely can. You see, if ZBCN is required for fees, access, or maybe advanced controls, then okay, all of this activity translates to constant demand for, you know what, the ZBCN token. And this is, again, it's very important to understand that we are talking about automated usage-based demand coming from software itself constantly. And this, well, it's a bit of a completely different dynamic compared to most tokens, which leads us to the bigger picture. You see, what we are seeing here is actually the overlap of two major trends. Number one is crypto, number two, artificial intelligence. And these two, trust me when I tell you, for very natural reasons, do have very much deep ties, because crypto has been looking for real utility for many years, while at the same time, artificial intelligence is right now hitting a wall when it comes to payments and financial infrastructure. Traditional systems, again, for the reasons that we talked about at the very beginning of the video, simply are not able to fit how AI operates. It's very important to understand that. And guess what? Again, Zebec and their token, ZBCN, is sitting right in the middle of all this. They have already a working system, and now they are offering it to a sector that actually needs it. And if developers start using Zebec as the default financial layer for artificial intelligence agents, okay, guess what? The growth of the network is going to be absolutely exponential, which, for the reasons that we talked about, is going to ultimately lead to price appreciation for the token, because we are going to witness massive increase in demand. So overall, I would argue this move from Zebec can be a great one, and I'm not really here to say they are going to attract all the adoption. Absolutely not. But let's just say this. Even if they manage to attract a portion of the adoption and it turns out that the operation is going very well, then okay, naturally, number one, even that portion of the adoption is going to bring a whole lot of revenue to the network. And number two, other developers naturally are going to start seeing this and see how successful the operation is. And naturally, they are going to also choose Zebec for their agent's financial layer. Meaning what? You know what? The adoption is just simply going to grow. Once more, I'm going to say it exponentially. So overall, I do think this is a great move from Zebec, and in the mid to long term, we are going to see the effects of it, hopefully big time. Now, having said all this, let's go on the live chart and
What up, Phantom Beats? Where you been, fam? What's going on? What you talking about?
see what is going on in like very short time. Okay, here we are. And if you remember, specifically the last time that we talked about ZBCN, we were right around these areas. And I think we haven't back then taken this important high. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's just wait a little bit more and see, are we going to take this high or not? And then watch out for a bit of a move on the downside, because the move itself is not really that important. What we care about is the shape of that move. We said if we are going to get a bit of a slow and choppy move on the downside, which is going to take a bit of time. And by the way, these are the characteristics of a correction structure. So basically, we said if we get a correction, great sign. At that point, count on a continuation of our move up. On the other hand, if we end up, there we go. We also said if we get like a very strong move down without a lot of overlapping of the waves, that is unfortunately not going to be a good sign. Now, at the moment, you might be able to argue this is a rather strong move down, right? Well, in and of itself, maybe you could interpret this as some sort of an impulse. However, number one, when you compare it to this face up, and more important than that, number two, when you compare it to this specific move on the upside, I think you actually do have like a fair shot of calling this whole move on the downside a correction structure. Specifically, I'm thinking about an A, B, C zigzag, which the sideways for us are going to be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into A, correction for B. Let's call it an ABC this time, followed by yet another 5 wave down into C. Now let's zoom in more, and maybe it's best to go on some lower time frames, maybe 15-minute charts, so we can see the subwaves a bit better. Let's zoom in a bit more. Okay, so the first question is naturally, how long did it take for us to have this phase down from the highs to about the lows? Let's just real quick measure it from this point to about the lows. As you can see, this is on 15-minute time frame, by the way. It took us about 250 candlesticks. On the other hand, in about, let's say, half of that time frame, about 125 candles, we managed to have this good move on the upside. So I do think it's fair to argue, compared to this move up, in here we are dealing with a relatively slow move on the downside. Now, what does Elliott wave actually suggest in here? Well, I'm thinking probably we are having, let's actually start counting from this point. I think we are having an A, B, C running flat, and then this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down to about this point. Also in this initial phase on the downside, from this important high to about here, I do think we are able to argue this is a 1, 2, maybe the end of our wave 3 is going to be in here, correction for 4, another move on the downside into wave 5. So I'm willing to argue, since specifically in this phase up in ZBCN, we took these highs, odds are we are actually dealing with an A, B, C zigzag on a higher degree. Now, again, let me be very clear. There's also a very decent chance actually that this is a 5 wave. However, based on two important reasons, I would like to argue this right in here, this ABC scenario, meaning generally the optimistic possibility is my primary case. Number one, if you check out this move on the upside, I think we can all safely assume this is a rather strong move up. I'm thinking probably in form of a 5 wave. Reason number two, again, comes down to the fact that in this phase, we ended up taking the previous major pivot high on 30 minutes, and also I would say mainly H1 time frame, which is this thing. So this is definitely another optimistic sign suggesting hopefully we are having 5 up into 1 correction for wave 2, and the next move is indeed going to be a decent one up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. Now, by the time that this video goes out, what I'm about to tell you most likely has happened or maybe hasn't happened. So all eyes on this important sign, which is this. You see, so far, I do like to think probably we are having just a simple A, B, maybe even like another small move down into our ceiling. Then pay attention. After this ABC, if you end up witnessing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to take this important high, that, my friends, is going to be an awesome, very, very early sign suggesting, yeah, you know what, most likely the bullish scenario is in play, and during the coming pullback right around this area, you can open a bit of a long position in hope that we end up having a good move on the upside. And I think your risk to reward ratio bare minimum is going to be about 1 to 3, and I don't know about you guys, this is definitely not that bad. And let's just say this, if we end up having maybe one more tiny move on the downside in order to take the loss, maybe even.
What is this? So he's saying until we get clarity, knows. Yeah, I told you guys that. I told you. Everything is hinged on the Clarity Act passing, right? The major investors, the institution is not putting serious money into any crypto until it's regulated. There cannot be big money flowing in until it's regulated, right? People or crypto companies need to know they're not going to lose their money, right? They're not going to crash out because there's a regulation problem or somebody said this or somebody said that. So these guys aren't going to do nothing until there is full rails and full clarity. And I'm not sure why nobody believes that. But I'm telling you, bro, I used to work in financial services. These guys get audited all the time. There is no way somebody's going to put a lot of money into anything that is unregulated and not auditable, if that makes sense, right? You got to be able to audit it. And until that happens, it's just us really investing in it. I mean, it's whales buying, but the institutions aren't going to risk their money until they know for sure this is fully regulated, right? So I don't know what else to tell you guys. Until the regulation hits, there is nothing we can do, right? We just got to wait it out. And this guy is not going to pass clarity until this Save America or whatever that is fully vetted, right? So it's kind of a catch-22. These guys aren't going to do anything until everything is fully complete, right? So you guys know, like I know, this ain't happening no time soon. And that's why I've been looking, right? I've been investing and kind of holding out because I know, like you know, they're going to hold this out. But so I've been telling you guys, this ain't happening until, I would say, midsummer, or I've even heard when the primary, right? Until the primary start. And that's end of the year, right? These guys are not going to let any of this happen early, right? It's an overall process. You know how these things work. These guys are already in it to win it. They just haven't told us yet. But we will see. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think, right, we're going to have some kind of weird black swan event and everything's going to slow down as usual. And then June 26th could be the signal. I hope so, but I'm telling you, I don't think so. I think we're looking at July or August, earliest, the latest November, December, right? These guys have been hyping us. I mean, these guys are literally playing in our faces. If you just think about it. So the ceasefire happened Monday, Tuesday, right? And this guy came back with what did he say? Well, destroy the country or something crazy. And then the next day, Israel attacked Lebanon. So the price of oil went down because of the ceasefire. And then these guys are launching during the ceasefire. So the price went down and then it came back up. And then we had the CPI numbers. So it went down just enough to pull down the numbers for inflation for CPI. And now it's going back up. So March, January, February, March will be okay. April will be going back up and May will be crazy, right? And they did that on purpose. These guys are literally playing in our faces, man.
Around here, I'm going to open.
They don't want to pass the clarity yet. They're going to wait it out. They're going to get people to FUD and more FUD, and they're going to get people to sell a crypto, right? They're going to buy it cheap, like they've been doing the whole time. And once they get it cheap, they're going to do like they always do and sell it right back to the retail holders as if it was something that they weren't planning to do. But they planned this the whole time, man. Connect the dots, right? Follow the breadcrumbs.
But a long position. Why? Because it actually makes sense to do so. This doesn't really mean that I'm confident we're going to have a move up. No, this just means if I open maybe 10 positions like this over a long period of time, overall, because the risk to reward ratios are actually fully in my favor, and also the structures are indeed looking quite optimistic, and hopefully they are going to go according to what I'm thinking, this means over a longer period of time, out of 10 times, maybe 6 or 7 times I'm going to hit my profit. And when you consider also the risk to reward ratio aspect, you realize 6 or 7 times is actually like a really, really good odds. Let me give you an example. Let's say I want to open my position in ZBCN right in here about 0.25 of a cent. At that point, my stop loss is going to be very naturally under this importance law about, let's just even say 0.24 of a cent. So essentially, I'm having about a 0.1 of a cent in terms of a stop. On the other hand, what's going to be my target? Well, even if you want to be like extraordinary pessimistic, bare minimum your target can be around the previous major pivot high in here about 0.28, let's say 0.29 of a cent. So I'm having a risk to reward ratio of essentially 1 to 4. Now, let's assume that if I hit my stop loss in this position, I'm going to lose $8. On the other hand, if I hit my target, I'm going to make about $4. Now, having said that, if out of 10 times I get it wrong 3 times,
honestly, I think something crazy is going to happen soon, and things are going to change. Right, we're going to have some weird black swan events. No, but I can't tell you, or I don't want to say yet. But I think it's going to crash out. The market's going to go all the way back down, and then we'll have a new president, I guess, or the vice president step up, or something crazy is going to happen. But keep an eye out, and we'll have to wait and see.
that means I'm going to lose how much? You know it, only and only $3. On the other hand, let's not even consider 7. Let's just say 6 out of 10 times I'm going to end up being right. Well, in that case, in each position, how much am I going to earn? You know it, we said it earlier, $4. So 6 times 4 is about $24. So in a scenario where my risk to reward ratios in my positions are about 1 to 3, 1 to 4, I'm going to lose about $4, and on the other hand, I'm going to win about $24, meaning what? I'm going to end up making a whole lot of money. And this, my friends, is exactly why right in here I want to open a position. Not because I'm confident that we're not going to go down. No, I'm opening this position because I am here playing the long game, and over a longer period of time, I do believe odds of taking positions like this are absolutely going to be in my favor. So overall, let's just have a quick conclusion. The fact that in ZBCN, we got something like an ABC, and also specifically in the next phase on the upside, number 1, we got a very strong move, and number 2, we took the height of our B-leg. Right in here is a very optimistic sign to me, suggesting hopefully another move on the upside is going to come soon, and I'm really, really looking forward to this move up actually getting quite a good bit extended. And if this is going to happen, okay, at that point, we can talk about that bullish scenario overall that we talked about in the previous video, I would say with a decent bit of confidence. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ZBCN's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.
All right, guys, we got a special treat for you. The latest spaces from
Zebec has been talking about another reminder.
Yeah. Now, Zebec card transactions on Solana include built-in privacy features, enabling everyday spending without exposing detailed activities on-chain, a step forward towards making privacy a standard part of real-world crypto payment. Now, this is bullish if you ask me. This is a welcome development as well. Zebec isn't just building a card. They are building a private financial layer for the real
Phantom, I hope you're right. They need to execute. They need an excuse to switch things over quick. I know. They need some kind of weird straight on panic so they can do the reset and switch over from fiat to the new system. So it's got to be something major so they could do it in the background. But we'll have to wait it out and see.
World users. By maxing on-chain activities through Ghostware, I think they have been able to remove the single biggest barrier to entry for retail users like you and I, and the fear of being tracked. This makes the Zebec card the most bank-like experience in the Web3 ecosystem, in the Web3 space at the moment, if you ask me. As card utility start growing, as the adoption start increasing and start growing, privacy becomes the standard. The velocity and volume of Zebec Network is going to automatically increase as well. This isn't just a partnership, it is a technical upgrade that makes Zebec Network more competitive against the traditional fintech giant like Robot or Wise. Now, the last analysis we made, the first part played out, the second part didn't play out as a result of the BTC U-turn. BTC is currently following the exact projection we talked about in our previous video. As you can see, the projection number one played out, the second phase played out, the consolidation phase is currently playing out, and we've already tapped into the $73,000 territory as predicted as well. So fingers crossed, let's see how it goes. I think the next 48 hours is going to determine if this setup, this projection is going to get invalidated or not. So let's see how it goes. The BTC dominance is still yet to drop. We are still expecting that aggressive drop for the BTC dominance, which by the time that happens, then we should expect Zebec Network to explode in.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. I know we ran over a little bit. Actually ran over a lot, but it was actually pretty informative. But I need to go ahead and close it out. It's Friday, and you guys got stuff to do, I'm sure. But so here's the real question. Is Zebec having a headline week, or is Zebec quietly becoming one of the more serious PayFi infrastructure plays in crypto? You tell me. Is this the next big catalyst, the mobile app, enterprise adoption, another chain, or something we haven't seen yet? Drop your honest take in the chat. Bullish, cautious, waiting for proof. And if you want coverage that actually reads the receipts instead of yelling at candles, hit the like and subscribe. And as always, it's your main man, BTM, signing out. Remember, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miners out.